In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on January 21st, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Michigan State versus Maryland. The onset of our Sunday unfolds with an eagerly anticipated showdown in the Big Ten, showcased on national television. The spotlight falls on the clash between the Michigan State Spartans, boasting an 11-7 overall record and a 3-4 standing in the Big Ten, and the Maryland Terrapins, who mirror the Spartans with an identical 11-7 overall record and a 3-4 record in Big Ten play. Notably, Michigan State's recent triumph at home against Minnesota, concluding with a score of 76-66, did not see them cover the spread as 11.5-point favorites. Meanwhile, Maryland faced a narrow defeat on the road, succumbing to Northwestern 72-69, although they managed to cover the 4.5-point spread as underdogs. It's worth recalling that these teams clashed only once in the previous season, with Michigan State securing a 5-point victory on their home turf. In the aftermath of a brief 2-game losing streak, the Spartans have rebounded with 2 consecutive victories, showcasing a commendable 7-2 record over their last 9 games. Offensively, Michigan State ranks 7th in the Big Ten, averaging 77 points per game this season. Their shooting prowess is evident, with a 47.6% success rate from the field and a 35.9% accuracy from beyond the arc. The Spartans maintain an average of 6.8 three-pointers and 13.2 free throws per game, with a noteworthy 10.4 turnovers per game, placing them 4th in the conference. Defensively, they concede 66 points per game, marking the 3rd best record in the Big Ten. Opponents are met with a formidable defense, shooting 39.1% from the field and 32.9% from three-point range. Michigan State's rebounding performance places them 10th in the conference at 36.9 rebounds per game, coupled with an impressive plus 2.7 rebound differential. Additional defensive contributions include averaging 7.1 steals and 4.3 blocks per game. Contrastingly, the Terrapins' recent endeavors have seen them struggle, failing to capitalize on a significant victory over number 10 Illinois. With a loss to Northwestern, Maryland's record stands at 2-3 straight up over their last 5 games. Offensively, they rank 13th in the Big Ten, scoring an average of 71 points per game. Their shooting percentages of 41.6% from the field and a mere 27.9% from three-point range underscore their challenges on the offensive end. The Terps manage an average of 6.1 three-pointers and 17.7 free throws per game. Turnovers plague their offensive efficiency, averaging 11.7 per game, and their assist-to-turnover ratio of 0.94 ranks 252nd nationally. On the defensive front, Maryland has excelled, limiting opponents to an average of 64 points per game, securing the best record in the Big Ten. Their defensive percentages stand at 40.3% from the field and 33.2% from beyond the arc, complemented by an average of 7.2 steals and 5.2 blocks per game. The parity between these teams extends beyond their records, as both stand at 11-7 overall and 3-4 in league play. Notably, each team boasts an elite scoring guard at the helm of their respective offenses. Maryland's Ayala holds the 2nd spot in the league in scoring, averaging 21 points per game, while Michigan State's Walker contributes 20 points per game, securing the 3rd position among Big Ten scorers. Despite the potential favoritism towards Michigan State, the dynamics of this matchup present Maryland as a viable contender, especially considering their home advantage. Maryland, with a 9-1 straight-up record at home, holds the upper hand, while Michigan State faces the challenge of securing a road victory, having experienced losses to Northwestern, Illinois, and Nebraska in their recent away games. A pivotal factor influencing the game's outcome is the individual prowess of Young, who surpasses Walker in scoring ability, combined with Maryland's advantageous presence in the post. Notably, Julian Reese and Donta Scott's inside dominance positions the Terrapins favorably, anchored by their solid defensive performance, ranking 23rd in defensive efficiency. Maryland's recent record of holding opponents under 70 points in 7 of their last 8 games signifies their defensive prowess. In contrast, Michigan State, despite entering the game on a 2-game winning streak, faces a challenge on the road, having suffered defeats to Illinois and Northwestern in their recent away matchups. The Terrapins, with an elite perimeter scorer and resilient frontcourt players, present a formidable challenge for the Spartans, especially considering Michigan State's recent struggles in covering spreads. So the Maryland Terrapins to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams have adopted a deliberate and measured pace throughout the season, evident in their low rankings and adjusted tempo according to Ken Palm. Michigan State holds the 277th position nationally, while Maryland is placed at 298. Despite their sluggish offensive performances, the Spartans have displayed a recent improvement in cohesion and consistency. However, the Terps' offensive struggles are apparent, reflected in their rankings of 153rd in adjusted efficiency, 292nd in effective field goal percentage, and a dismal 347th in three-point percentage. With such offensive challenges, the expectation is that Maryland's offense may encounter difficulties against a resolute Michigan State defense, ranked in the top 25 for adjusted efficiency. Reflecting on the previous season's meeting, which witnessed a total of 121 points, and the combined 20 games this season hitting the under, both teams seem inclined towards defensive prowess. The Spartans' offensive strength, complemented by a solid defense holding opponents to 65 or fewer points in 5 of their last 9 games, contrasts with the Terps' unpredictable offensive performance. Maryland's defensive capability is evident in their ability to restrict opponents to 65 points or fewer in 4 of their last 7 games. With both teams ranking in the bottom third in Ken Palm's tempo ratings, a closely contested matchup with a defensive focus is anticipated. In the context of this Big Ten matchup characterized by a deliberate pace, Michigan State ranks 279th in tempo, while Maryland sits at 295th. Despite featuring high-scoring point guards, both teams opt for a half-court style rather than an up-tempo transition game. Recent trends indicate a propensity for both teams to hit the under, with Michigan State going under in 2 of their last 3 games, and Maryland hitting the under in 4 of their last 6. Anticipating a closely contested affair with defensive emphasis, the advantage lies with Maryland's inside presence, led by 2 reliable forwards, against a Michigan State defense that may struggle to contain both threats. The expectation is that points will be at a premium, making the under the projected total the preferred full game total pick. Rutgers versus Illinois. Rutgers and Illinois are set to clash in a Big Ten matinee on Sunday, with the 14th-ranked Illinois hosting the Scarlet Knights. In their recent performance, the Scarlet Knights, boasting a 10-7 overall record and a 2-4 standing in the Big Ten, secured an impressive 87-82 overtime victory against Nebraska as -3 favorites. Meanwhile, the number 14 Fighting Illini, with a 13-4 overall record and a 4-2 mark in the Big Ten, emerged triumphant in a decisive 88-73 win over Michigan, where they were favored at -2.5 points. During the initial 10 games of the season, Rutgers displayed a commendable 7-3 record, suffering defeats at the hands of Princeton, Illinois, and Wake Forest. Subsequently, their performance dipped to 3-4, marked by wins against Stonehill, Indiana, and Nebraska, coupled with losses to Mississippi State, Ohio State, Iowa, and Michigan State. In their latest matchup against Nebraska, the Scarlet Knights entered halftime tied at 36-36, maintained the tie through the second half, and clinched the victory with an 87-82 score in overtime. Onder Hyatt led the team with 17 points, while Clifford Amarui contributed 14 points and 15 rebounds. On the Illinois front, their initial 14 games saw only 2 losses, suffered against Marquette and Tennessee. However, their recent performance has been less consistent, with a 2-2 record, losing to Purdue and Maryland but securing victories against Michigan State and Michigan. In their latest triumph over Michigan, the Illini held held a narrow 37-36 lead at halftime, but a dominant 51-37 second half secured an 88-73 victory. Coleman Hawkins played a pivotal role, contributing 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 steals as the Rutgers Scarlet Knights prepare to face the Illinois Fighting Illini in a Big Ten Conference game in Champaign on Sunday. It marks their second encounter of the season. The first meeting occurred on December 2nd, resulting in an 18-point win for Illinois on Rutgers' home turf. Anticipating a similar outcome in the second game of the series, the Illini, currently one of the nation's top teams, welcome back their All-American caliber guard, Terrence Shannon Jr., from suspension. Illinois demonstrated their superiority in December, and with the home court advantage in the upcoming match, they are poised for success. The Illini's formidable defense is expected to pose significant challenges for Rutgers, especially considering the Scarlet Knights' offensive struggles. Rutgers, averaging just 68.6 points per game, faces a tough opponent in Illinois, whose defense ranks 5th in effective field goal percentage and 8th in two-point percentage. In contrast, Rutgers ranks poorly in offensive efficiency, sitting at number 350 nationally in effective field goal percentage, number 350 in two-point percentage, and number 320 in three-point percentage, according to Ken Palm. In conference play, Rutgers has been inconsistent with a 2-4 record and 3 wins in their last 7 games. In contrast, Illinois boasts a 4-2 record in Big Ten games, including a convincing 88-73 road win against Michigan. Offensively, Rutgers struggles, shooting only 39% as a team and averaging 102.8 points per 100 possessions, in contrast to Illinois' impressive 120.5 points per 100, ranking 10th in adjusted offensive efficiency. The second meeting between these teams comes after Illinois secured a 76-58 victory on the road in December. Despite a subpar shooting performance, the Illini dominated on the boards and in the paint. With an 8-9 against the spread record, including 2-3 against the spread on the road, Rutgers faces a formidable opponent in the 10-5-2 against the spread Fighting Illini, who are 7-1-2 against the spread in their last 10 games. Anticipating another dominant home win for Illinois, the Illinois Fighting Illini to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The total points projection for this matchup stands at 137.5, slightly above the combined total of 134 points in their previous meeting. Rutgers, ranked 169th in tempo according to Ken Palm, experiences a drop in scoring by almost 7 points on the road. Surprisingly, Illinois scores 6 points less at home than on the road this season, raising questions about their offensive prowess in this game. Given their last meeting's low-scoring outcome, the expectation is that Illinois defense will once again limit Rutgers' offensive output. The under has prevailed in the last 3 encounters between these teams, reinforcing the inclination towards the under for the full game total pick. Despite Illinois managing to maintain momentum without their top scorer, recent trends indicate potential scoring challenges in their upcoming games. With Rutgers also grappling with offensive issues, the combination of both teams' struggles could impact the overall scoreboard. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Memphis versus Tulane. The upcoming clash between the Memphis Tigers and the Tulane Green Wave is set to unfold this Sunday as part of the American Athletic Conference action. The Tigers, with an impressive overall season record of 15-3, recently suffered their first conference loss, slipping to a 4-1 standing in the American Athletic Conference. Meanwhile, the Green Wave, boasting an 11-6 season record, find themselves at 2-3 in conference play. The American Athletic Conference, initially anticipated to witness a 2-horse race between Florida Atlantic and Memphis, has evolved into a highly competitive league. Tulane has faced formidable opponents at the top of the conference, experiencing setbacks against Florida Atlantic, North Texas, and UAB. Despite their losses, Tulane displayed resilience, nearly snatching victory from Florida Atlantic. Conversely, Memphis, initially poised for an early lead in the standings, stumbled in a recent game against South Florida, surrendering a 20-point lead. This unexpected setback is viewed as an anomaly, given South Florida's exceptionally hot second half. Consequently, the upcoming matchup against Tulane is crucial for the Tigers to rebound. Both teams are characterized by an ultra-fast playing style, ranking in the top 30 in tempo nationwide. Notably, the majority of teams in this tempo elite are from smaller conferences. As a result, the game's projected total reaches an extraordinary 169, indicating a potentially high-scoring affair. Despite Tulane's lack of success against ranked opponents in recent decades, their fast-paced approach alone might not suffice against the more talented Memphis team. Memphis, equipped equipped with superior athletes, particularly anticipates dominating in the paint, capitalizing on Tulane's perceived weaknesses. For Memphis to secure victory, they should emulate the strategy employed by UAB in Tulane's previous loss. The key lies in relentlessly attacking the paint, exploiting Tulane's vulnerable interior defense, and asserting dominance on the boards. While Tulane ranks 8th nationally in scoring, their defensive shortcomings, especially in the paint, provide an opportunity for Memphis to capitalize. When Tulane resorts to double-teaming in the low post, Memphis can exploit their proficiency in three-point shooting, rank 105th in the country, and capitalize on the advantage. Following a stunning home defeat against South Florida, Memphis is determined to bounce back. The setback, a narrow 74-73 loss, is perceived as a temporary deviation from what was shaping up to be a remarkable season, marked by a 10-game winning streak. A statistical analysis suggests that the formidable Memphis offense is poised to exploit Tulane's subpar defense, ranked 188th nationally, allowing 108 points per 100 possessions. Led by David Jones, averaging 21 points per game, the Tigers are expected to thrive in the upcoming matchup. Despite the end of their 10-game winning streak, Memphis remains a formidable force, ranking 10th in the country. They boast an average of 81 points per game and a shooting percentage of 46.5%. Tulane, while scoring at an impressive rate of 86 points per game, faces defensive challenges, allowing 79 points per game. With Tulane dropping 3 of their last 4 games, Memphis enters the contest as the stronger team, especially in a potential high-paced track meet scenario. So the Memphis Tigers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both Memphis and Tulane have displayed an inclination towards high-scoring games throughout the season, with Memphis going 11-6-1 and Tulane 10-6 in favor of the over. Notably, in road games, Memphis maintains a 4-1 over record. The team's exceptionally high pace of play, with Memphis ranked 30th and Tulane 11th in adjusted tempo, further contributes to the likelihood of a high-scoring affair. Both teams, however, exhibit defensive vulnerabilities, potentially leading to a fast-paced and high-scoring contest. Opting against an under-prediction in a matchup featuring 2 top 50 scoring teams, the expectation is set for an offensive showcase. Anticipating no emphasis on defense over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.